Who's heard of Google Hangout? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, a few of you. Notice the people on the periphery are the ones that have their hand. That's where I would sit too. So Google Hangout is an online synchronous communication tool that's free. I use it every week, honestly, for our curriculum development team for this new course. I meet with faculty across our district. It's multi-point video, and you can share documents and everything else. It works awesome. And I just wanted to get it out there to let you know that this tool exists. Without this tool, I'm not sure where our curriculum would be this semester. We have a team develop the curriculum. We collaborate every week on it. We share the assessments over it. We have a whole Google Doc, a curriculum map that we've developed. And I'm like, before this technology, how would have that worked out? I mean, there's like 60 miles between people, right? And every Friday morning at 10 a.m., how are we going to get together? It's just like I don't know, it's like our support group too. Students aren't showing up, and so-and-so's cat died, and I can't get this to work, and I hate that question, and what are we going to do? You know what I mean? It's just nice to have some of the teachers to talk to. It's like we're hanging out. So I'm just going to show a little bit of this, not too much, just so you get a feel of what it looks like, okay?
Go here to start a Hangout. You click the button. Gives you a nice preview of yourself. Make sure your hair is all good. Add more people. This is a public announcement, and I click Hangout. No one is here right now. Anyways, when it comes to this wall, it actually shows here that they were hanging out with somebody or who they're hanging out with. So when you show up, you can actually determine whether you want to hang out with them or not. It's essentially just like Skype, but you can add more people. It's a little more intuitive. It switches to the microphone of the person speaking, so it'll pan around. You can mute other people, and it mutes it for everybody. Mute audio. Brian actually gets notified when I mute him. I muted Brian Farr. Brian can remute me. You can...
I just wanted to pause there for a second. So just for those of you that have never seen it, you're starting to get at least what it looks like, right? So you've got all the people that are in there, multi-point video. I think you can have up to 10 in there at once. Anybody want to confirm or deny that? I think it's about 10, which honestly is a lot of people to talk to at once. I mean, think about it at a meeting, right? You got 10 people in everybody's. So it works really good. It does noise canceling, so you don't even have to wear a headset if you got your laptop. It works great. You've got the chat going on over here. You can bring in Google Docs. They've got a whole bunch of apps that you can share synchronously. So I use this a lot to collaborate with colleagues too on a project. And I'm suggesting this could be a great tool to use with your students. I use it, something different with my LMS, but honestly, I think this one's better because it's got the personal feel. It's got the video with it. Honestly, teachers are not afraid to talk. Have you noticed this? But students are a little more reluctant. I do an online office hour every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And I think I get about one student a semester who wants me to actually, turn their webcam on and talk. And they're usually a non-track like me. So, but usually they're cool with the chat. They can hear me. We've got the whiteboard. This has screen sharing. It's got a whiteboard feature. It's pretty much got everything. Obviously, I'm not here to train you on Google+, but I just want to make you aware of it. How many of you use a synchronous communication tool with your students? Synchronous communication, that's like they're live and you're live. Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I do office hours, so I usually get like 2 to 8 students showing up. And that's, well, if I open my office door for office hours, I never have 2 to 8 students waiting there to get in. That would be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? Oh, just wait. I got to help someone. I mean, that would be insane. But that actually happens online. And they're all and I just take turns, and they ask questions, and they're actually listening. Some people just show up just to listen. Hey, I'm working on my online homework. If I have any questions, I'll just let you know. Okay, move on. So it's a different dynamic, and I'm getting engagement from students I never would have been getting engagement from before. They will chat. In fact, I've broadcast class before. Like, I'd be on here, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to broadcast the stat class to everybody. Some students wouldn't show up. Some students would, and they would be chatting, and they were sitting right there. I'm like, hey, when I'm seeing the chat thing there, I'm like, why don't you raise your hand? It's like they're participating, right? And the sessions get recorded. With my system, they are not here. So then it becomes a learning object for them later on. So I'd say this is a new technology that has definitely maybe shifted how we can interact with each other as colleagues and with our students. So I just want to make you aware of that. Is there any questions on those things? I know a few of you are doing this. Our online department has just said if you are teaching an online course and you're full-time, you will be offering at least one online office hour. Does anybody else have something like that at their institution? A few. So a lot of the for-profit institutions already do this, don't they? They actually have a synchronous time that all students are expected to show up. We've been struggling with some of our online math classes because students, they struggle and they don't seek out the help they should. We're actually debating, and I'm curious if anyone's done this, of actually doing that. Online calculus, you will meet for 3 hours every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sign up for it. It's just like signing up for a class, except it's a virtual classroom, right? And all of a sudden we've got this, potentially lecture and collaborative. In mine, when there's breakout rooms, they can work on things together. So this is way different. Plus, when I want to add a class at Des Moines Area Community College, finding a classroom is sometimes very difficult, right? But how hard is it to say I'm going to add a class like that? It's like 2 clicks and it's done. So, yeah.
But didn't you say only 10 could be on at the same time?
For Google Hangout, synchronously, yes.
Right.
For my system that I use through my LMS, it's pretty much unlimited.
Okay.
Hundreds could be in there. But I personally use this mostly with colleagues. I haven't made the jump because are my students in Google+? No. I do know some faculty who will create essentially a profile for themselves that students can become part of for their circles. It's like Facebook for Google. So you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The cool thing is, how many of you have a Gmail account? Who's got a Gmail? All right, there we go. If you got Gmail, you've got Google Hangout.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in your Gmail, you'll see the little video button. You've got a Hangout button, and you can bring people in. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's obviously lots of tutorials, and I'm a faculty liaison at Distance Ed, so my job sometimes is to come alongside a faculty member and help them get through this. And I hope there's somebody at your institution that's like that too. Does anybody have like a techie person in their department maybe? Or usually they're helpful. I would seek them out and say, hey, I went to this conference, heard about Google Hangout. I'm interested in having an online meeting with other faculty, or I want to try to do that. I want to do an online office hour with my students. How do I do this? So, yeah.
I was just thinking if you did want to do like a synchronous time where students had to show up and you're limited to 10, do 2 or 3 per week and have the class split up in person, then they can choose a time that fits their schedule.
Sure. That becomes.
Then you can do it evening time, daytime.
Well, I only do 1 week just because my wife, I want to be a real person sometimes. But my whole family knows at 9 p.m. Dad's going to be online. You better be in bed and quiet, right? And when they're not, I'm grumpy. So.
During the day, that would.
Yeah, during the day. So there's a lot of potential, I think, with these tools. And Google Hangout's only like 2 years old. So, yeah.
Do you need passwords to get to this site?
To get to like Google Plus, yeah.
That would need a password.
I can invite whoever I want. I just need to know who to invite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you can make them just public hangouts, I believe, too, which could be scary. I actually did that accidentally one time with my other system, and I didn't realize. Anyway, I had people from all over the world showing up.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding you. I'd be in my office hours. Someone from Singapore's in there, and Mexico, and Russia. And I'm like, oh, sorry, this is just for my students. And they're like, I just want to hear you speak English. I'm like,
Dude,
okay.
that is funny.
Or they'd be like, hey, can you, show me, tutor me in math? I'm like, it was interesting.
They just happen to be on in Google.
But I'm like, I wonder how many teachers in history had this experience. People from all over the world just accidentally popping into their class for a few minutes. I'd always go, what time is it there? What's the weather like? And, it's interesting. All right, so we are, the last part of my presentation